Genting for ESL One Genting 2018 on day 3, the final day here in Kuala Lumpur before we head up into the mountains of Genting. And 6,000 feet up will decide our champion this year. DC, of course, the champions last year. Only one man can make it back for a repeat pickup of the trophy. And he's playing right now for Evil Geniuses, of course, Misery. They find themselves a game up, and back with our panel members once more for game number 2. We're going to head to the draft very shortly. Blitz, we'll start with you. In terms of EG, no changes? Don't really need to swap too much up, do they?
I think you play like that VP style, where if you're winning, just keep winning.
Yep.
Like there's, what are you going to change? Like it's won you like 8 games in a row.
Is there a risk though that NaVi just go, okay, we let them have the task and the like, let's just not let them have that this time, let's ban them out?
I think they'll ban at least one of the two.
Yeah.
I think that, like, people don't understand, but you only have like 10 minutes in between.
Right.
There's not enough, like, if you haven't formulated the game plan beforehand, you're not doing it in the 10 minutes. It's the preparation beforehand that matters. Unless your captain can think on his feet like that. I have not met a captain that can think that quickly. It's like, if you can't deal with it, ban it, and then we'll discuss it later if we continue.
There's too much nuance, isn't there? And there's often quite a lot of opinion as well around from the other players. They're all giving you their sort of 2 pence or their 2 cents worth, and it's kind of too much to kind of take it all in, isn't it?
It's the first, like, okay, so I'll tell you how it goes for both teams I've been on, because it's literally the exact same. Like, so if you lose, you go outside, captain's pissed. It's like, what are you guys doing? You waste like a minute on that. 1 minute out of 10, and then the second minute is like, okay, what did somebody else will chip in about what they felt like went wrong, and then 2 or 3 minutes are wasted. Another 2 or 3 minutes are wasted on like what everyone's opinions were. Then it's just like, okay, well, what do we do for next game? Like after you figure that out, and then you have like essentially 5 minutes of your 10 minutes that have been killed. Figure out everything, every complex nuance of this game. Impossible. So you just don't deal with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, the bans are underway, and we'll see whether NaVi are going to deal with it. They're certainly not going to do it in the first part.
I think that's exactly
of
the
the
wrong
bans, are they?
ban.
Okay.
You know, I get the whole theory of, hey, it hurt us last game, so let's not play against it again, but I don't think the Nagant's right here to ban.
Do you take the Tusk yourself then? Nope. You take
Obviously
go
not.
back for the AA.
So yeah, I mean, we're obviously, if we're riding the NaVi train here, we're thinking number 1 that maybe AA counters the Lycan a little bit, which I would dispute, and number 2, you're thinking that the AA perhaps complements the Void a bit better, which is probably true.
Yeah. This
They
time
go
around,
for the same openers here, don't they, Will?
if you're EG, like
Why would you
I
not?
pick Tusk here for sure. But
Yeah, why would you not?
you could take something like Earth Spirit, and have like a slightly different game, especially if you think it's Void, because he's quite nice against that.
Sort of blocks Roger's Spirit as well, I guess.
Yep.
You could play this like really aggressive game.
Yeah, all right, go back for the Tusk.
Exactly. It's exactly as Will said. You do the VP thing. And the other thing that I like so much that EG has been doing in these last couple of games, they found a really good answer to this resource distribution problem where they've been running Arteezy in these aggressive duels, or even last game in the open in the aggressive try, and he gets off to a little bit less of a good start in farm, but you assure Fear, even if Fear loses the CS battle, and he lost the CS battle to the Death Prophet Adeni in that last game quite badly. He was behind 59 to 37 at the 10-minute mark. But he's not going to get rotated on. He's going to get his levels. He's going to be able to do his job as the game goes on because of the attention that Arteezy is going to attract.
Going to be real, Paul. It's going to be really depressing if they lose to the exact same combo.
Yeah.
2 games in a row, you're out.
Especially when you have the opportunity for 3 bans now in the opening phase.
Yeah, it's like...
There's no real excuse now to just get rid of their opening 2 when you've got 3 bans.
You got 3 bans, and you had first pick. So you had 4 chances to take one of those 2 heroes off the table.
That means that either... Actually, it just means that you're wildly confident.
Well, look,
misplaced
that
confidence.
5 minutes was used really well. It was used better than any team I've been on.
Look, it's one of those things where people used to blame it on Puppy, but even after Puppy's left, NaVi has always been kind of a stubborn drafting team. They have what they think is good, and it's hard to get them off that.
Yeah, they're just gonna roll the dice again. I like this.
I don't.
It's only a
10 seconds.
it's only your tournament lives. Whatever.
Whatever.
You gotta disassociate the stakes.
5 seconds remaining.
Because if they can't beat it, then they're gonna be really good in the draft for the next game if they survive.
I guess that's optimism.
Yeah, I mean, if they win this game and we go to a game 3, then EG have then had their answer,
It's
I
been
guess.
broken, yeah.
Yeah, because they've had it broken, so they have to change it. So I guess it can swing.
But come on, guys.
For this series, we're going to do a best of 5, so we can say that for the third game as
Sure.
well.
Okay, well, I mean, they're going to get rid of the Colt. They got rid of the Naga in the first ban phase, so
Yeah.
that's 2 of the 5 that they had last time around. So at least they can't just carry on sweeping them with exactly the same
Well,
5
but-
lineup.
Yeah,
But
but this time they
again-
banned the Void.
Right. Exactly.
10
And I don't think
seconds
EG, the way this draft has gone, I don't think EG wanted those heroes anyway.
No.
EG's turn to pick.
Maybe they take something like... I'm not sure. Like, maybe they take something like CK as a result. Because you need control right now.
What, NaVi?
Yeah.
CK is just, he's fallen so hard out of favor recently.
10 seconds remaining.
I think teams kind of remembered after CK had this, he had a little bit of an adjustment, but I also think a lot of teams remembered that CK is a hero that if you kill him a couple times in the first 15 minutes, he can have a very hard time coming back. He's just not a flash farmer.
What about the PL for Navi?
I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, PL's good.
It would depend on what the third hero is, because EG has to reveal either their 5 or another core. You take your 5 here though, because you want NaVi to show at least one of the cores to show the direction.
And also, I also like the Ruby because it threatens so much that Navi might get cute with here. It threatens it. It's hard to take an Omni Knight now.
Yeah.
It's hard to, you can't take an Enigma
10
now.
seconds remaining.
Anything's stealable, not worth it. Gyro's a solid pick.
So how do you handicap the Gyro versus Lycan matchup? Well,
Like, it's... Hold on, I'm trying to remember who was playing what in that game. It's really hard for Gyro.
yeah,
It's like nearly impossible for
okay.
Gyro.
10
So that's
seconds
what I thought
remaining.
as well, but I wasn't quite as confident in that because
It was EG versus VP
Yes.
game 2 at DreamHack.
we're remembering the same game.
Yeah, it was like Lycan and Artesia at the post-game interview, and after the discussion that we had, he said Ramses had an impossible game because it's really hard to play Lycan against Gyro.
Right.
Or Gyro against Lycan. Is what I remember.
No,
Which-
and VP had a bit of a lead in that game too. If I
yeah,
remember
which
correctly.
is why it's surprising that Navi... No, I think they got bodied really hard in that one. They were pretty broken after game 1, though. They had like a 20k goal lead
Oh
and they
yeah,
ended up
that's
losing.
right. That's right. That was a bit of a
Yeah.
tilty series.
That's my favorite part. Is like I can't remember so many details about like my life, and I can just remember like
Remember? Oh yeah.
stupid Dota
Can you remember
games.
drafts from
It's so-
2013?
Thank God this is my job. Like I'd be so.
That's why I'm quite happy that I've got Facebook for birthday reminders. Because I just wouldn't remember any otherwise. But ask me about a draft in 2014, no problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
We're
just-
weird
we're just a
people,
bunch of
folks.
nerds, aren't we?
It's all right.
It's so useless. Alright, it fits us like one
It's just-
specific thing.
It just feels like EG can pick anything here.
But they won't just pick anything.
I think they. I mean, I think they can just pick TB.
Take Abadoon,
Oh, Abba's actually okay. Yeah, Abba's sick.
Part 9.
Because Abba, the other thing thinking about pre-counters is, well, okay, you take the...
Well, of course.
Yep.
Why
You-
not? Now the Rubik's not on that side.
This is something you see so many top teams doing so far back. It's you pick the counter to the hero,
Yeah, which
and
means
then you
you
pick
don't
the
have to
hero
ban
itself.
them. They
right?
won't ban them either because it's not going to get picked, and then you end up picking it as well.
I think they just
Smart.
needed some like team fight dispel.
That
That
I
might,
like-
that
I
makes you be
that
quite
one,
happy.
but
Should be quite happy with that, I guess.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a really nice Omni game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, A counters the heal, but who cares? Like, you're just gonna Gyro pops Flat Cannon, you pop your ulti, then you just dispel the Lycan, and like you actually can't do anything.
you know what? You might. I just don't think you're going to get both heroes. If you're Navi, you might actually double back and like try to grab something like a Clock SF in the last 2 picks because I feel like you're going to. I feel like you're kind of in a situation. Dendy, please carry us anyway. You know, because
But if they
Crystalliz's
pick-
hero is going to be so.
If they pick either of those, don't.
yeah,
usually
that's
ban
that's
other
the
one.
problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I feel like if you go for either of those,
Because it's such an obvious, it's a telegraph
right.
pick, isn't it? If you pick Clock here or you pick an SF here.
But I just feel like you have so much invested now in enabling
Yeah.
Dendy, because he has to win this game for you at this point. I feel.
EG's turn.
Boy,
Okay.
that's just not the hero.
No.
Timber is he has such struggles in this meta. I feel like if you're
They
picking a
haven't really
Timber Saw,
played Timber in a while either.
No.
Yeah. So Timber is nice against
10
Lycan in the lane,
seconds
but but like after that,
Yeah,
Team back.
it's nice. It's nice enough in the lane, but what did we see in the last matchup? Death Prophet's nice against Lycan in lane 2.
yeah. So I wanted Bat Rider because it's really good against the Lycan. It's like one of the few. I think you were asking me like what heroes are good against Lycan. I told you I was like Bat Rider.
Yep.
10 seconds
But they get rid of it. They're cool. EG realized like the last lockdown factors would be something like Enigma, but again they have Rubik, so you can't just like it's really hard to pick into that. You can't pick something like Tide either, because I mean, you're picking all these things into like not ideal situations.
All right, so I don't know. I'm asking myself, can this be a general Timber Saw, and you still turn around and try and pick Dendy something like SF that you hope he goes ham? I think
they
the answer to
lose
that is
really
no.
fast.
Yeah, I think the answer to that is definitely no.
You need lockdown really bad right now.
Yep.
But
Is
all the
there is there an offlaner that gives you enough
Enigma.
lockdown?
But they
Oh,
have.
no.
We just talked about
Not
that.
against Rubik.
I was like, yeah,
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well,
that's why like
we've seen it, but it's horrible when you play that Enigma and there's a Rubik around because you've got to take that into account before you can even cast the blooming
that's
thing.
why it's like such a cool draft because
Yeah,
EG
it's
like,
very difficult, isn't it?
They've just taken, that's the thing. Their picks, we talk about picks and bans. We talk about bans in terms of denying heroes to the enemy
they
team,
can
but
still
your
take the
picks
clock.
can deny hero to
They
the
can
enemy
still
team.
take the clock.
I'd be okay with. I think Clock's okay-ish. Rubik's nice against it, but
I don't like it.
you need something that like just runs in.
But that's
Pick,
the
like,
point. If you try and pick something that's got something big that's
like
worth
Doom?
stealing, then you don't want to play it because the Rubik will take it away. So
I take like. Oh,
okay,
That's-
SD, all right.
Okay, this is Core Sand King, probably Core Sand King and support SD. There's a chance that they could take a page out of the VP handbook and run this SD as a core, but I just don't think that makes sense with the
They
Timber.
generally haven't. It's generally a Sonico
Oh,
SD.
yeah.
So
10 seconds remaining.
yeah.
And I like SD a lot as a hero right now.
Move
I
the
think
Sand
he's
King to the
underpicked.
off lane
Seconds remaining.
Yeah. I think this is going to be General Sand King, Dendy, Timber.
and Roger AA.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And there's the start. Okay. Well.
Choose your
Na. Well, 2 times in one day, guys.
Yeah, and I have to say, credit to Arteezy earlier. I know, I'm a bona fide, signed up member of the Samael Storm Spirit
Yeah.
Club, and because
As
he's
am
a
I.
phenomenal player on it. But I have to give props to Arteezy earlier. That was a great game for
As
him.
am I, but look, Arteezy has been a very good Storm Spirit
Yeah.
player for a very long time. Like, he gets overshadowed naturally, but
does.
Artur is a very good Storm. I guess Blitz would be the authority on that.
That
Yeah.
dick told me that Tread's Bloodstone was the only build. I told him that Tread's. I had this really cool build. I said on stream, I was like, not actually angry, but I was like, dude, there's this cool build like Tread's Kaya Orchid. I've been doing it every game, like it's sick. And he called me a straight up moron. And a lot of people,
But you're a Storm player.
It's
but
Artur.
and my chat's like laughing at me like, ha ha ha, you fool. And I felt embarrassed and I never went it again. Then I see him play against a Tinker
And he used the same build.
and he went the exact same
Yeah.
build.
Artur calls everybody.
All right, we've got to wrap things up, boys. Very quickly.
Yeah, I think
EG?
it's
Strong?
Storm game. EG.
Too strong. Okay. We think it's too strong for EG. It's another great draft from the boys, and they have another Storm Spirit. Let's see how they get on in game number 2.
Indeed, Red Eye, this is maybe the last chance here for NaVi. We'll see if they can pull it together. But it looks to be a very scary draw from EG. Look, you could see sort of from the facial expressions of NaVi, it seemed like they were very sort of, didn't look like positive people.
And
coming
Omni
into this
came
game. It
out, and
looked-
it's like, uh-oh.
It's a scary lineup from
Don't
EG.
know how I
But
feel
what's
about
sort of the shining lights for NaVi's lineup, do you feel? What can they do that...
I look back to that whole, core counters, free games idea. Maybe there's some flexibility here. So you said at the end of the last game, you said, is there a chance to go for something off the wall? Something they could try. Could they try the Dendy AA? And then they opened with it, and I was like, oh my god, is it
And then-
possible?
there
Are they
is the
thinking about it?
potential.
But then, how are you going to catch the Storm Spirit? Like, this has been the problem. The hero's been 5th picked in a couple times this tournament, and what's their control? The last pick was a Shadow Demon. So they pretty much have to execute flawlessly. Huge pressure on the Sand King to get things done. That's going to be the only way that Arteezy or Sumail, assumedly Arteezy on the Storm again, and Sumail will be taking the Omni Knight, will get caught out and not have a good game.
And the Fear Lycan, you know, getting that first pick, getting it straight through, you know, this is something that you always sort of look towards the opponents to say, do you have an answer this time? Game 1, we saw the Lycan Fear have a very free game. It was very hard for NaVi to do anything about him. This game, I mean, as you say, the catch, if anything, it seems as even like you don't have the Chronosphere, you don't have that sort of massive lockdown to guarantee you a chance to beat into him. It's going to be very scary unless they can sort of really push him behind in the laning stage. But even if they do that, we saw in game 1, Fear, he was absolutely pushed behind in the laning stage. Dendi dominated his lane, but Fear just made a perfect recovery.
So I'd be curious to know why they want to leave that Lycan in. I get it, game 1. I get it. Yeah, I think you have a plan, gonna make it work and everything. But if you bully him so hard and he's still such a major impact in terms of how you lost, then it's kind of surprising that he shows right back up in the very next game. But perhaps now they're thinking, okay, we know what happens. We know we can beat him in the lane. We're gonna try and figure out a solution. We've got a couple different matchups that look kind of okay with the Timbersaw. But can we then get an advantage off of this? I don't think they're going to get as good as a matchup as they had last time, the Death Prophet. I find that unlikely. So, thankfully, NaVi, with someone having a DC right now, so we're just taking a bit of time. They're going to have to think this one over.
I mean, you can see, I said these lads, they seem a little less on the side. I mean, there was a smile coming out from Samir.
Oh, yeah, well, he's playing Omni again, dude.
I mean, absolutely. And Samir, he's a pretty straight-faced, focused kind of guy, but when you see a little smirk come out of him, you know that he's sort of in his element. And as you say, on a hero that he's going to feel very, very happy with. So it's also going to be very interesting to see how it goes down. EG, they did look good in game 1, and this game 2, they absolutely have the lineup to do it with.
Oh, Coach Havos. Standing guard. Not enough Lifestealer picks to be truly coached by Havos, I feel like.
No, not really. No, not for Crystallize. He likes to sort of go elsewhere with his carries.
Looks like just Misery who's giving us trouble, it looks like.
Yeah, we do have some issues at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We are just waiting as one of the players is
you know what it is.
DC'd. I imagine it's Misery.
Crit probably like unplugged his mouse. He's like hazing, you know. Get the new guy. Totally got him, guys. Oh, I put some tape under his sensor on the mouse.
Having some.
He can't get it to work.
EU to EU bounce in the NA squad.
He still looks perplexed after that Omni pick.
Yeah, look at Roger. He is. Oh. Those eyes, they've seen some, you know. I'm sure he's just in deep thought. For all we know, this could be.
They need some deep thought, I feel like.
What is that?
Apple juice.
Healthy boy. It looked like some sort of, you know, hard liquor. Oh, yeah, I guess we should be able to get back in as there's no one on Misery's PC at the moment.
Oh, there we go. High fives. All right, that's the key.
You got to get this man. Come on, Navi's got to boost it up a bit in that room. You can feel the tension. They need to sort of liven their spirits up. This could potentially be their last game. They have to do something drastic to swing this series round.
It's good that he's a morale coach too. I think it's nice to have someone like that on your team.
Well, looks like Misery does still have.
His tech guy's not nearly as excited.
No, he's calling in senior tech guy. As tech guy on the floor.
This is the guy who comes in and just says, "Did you turn it off and on again? Have you tried that?" Misery's like, "I have tried that. Okay, I'm going to call somebody else."
The biting of the lips from Dendi.
Can I play AA this game?
Look at he looks upset. I want to give him a hug. Give that man a hug. He needs it.
I wish I could just play AA, but I got to play some other hero.
I hope he is playing the AA. I mean, I'm sure some people listening, or if you're watching in client, they will see.
They know. They know who's on. We don't know anything.
They're like screaming at us. It is a mid AA, or it's not a mid AA. Of course it is.
You idiots! We're just too hopeful.
We'll find out soon.
Can you blame us?
But this is, you know, lots of time for the teams to have a talk, and as you can see, both sides are certainly utilising it before the game kicks off. Thoroughly talking through the game plan here, and making sure that they have the plan set and ready to pull into action.
The old game start pause strat, often used in the online region, specifically in North American Dota. Some would say long-held tradition of the region migrating across.
I hope that EG put a reason in the chat.
Oh,
because Crit said
he was
wants
quite
to see
vocal.
reasons for pauses. And I'm sure they did type in the reason. It looks like we are good to go. And it is not a Dendi AA. No. It is a Dendi Timber Source and Neko AA.
But it is a general Shadow Demon.
It is.
So that's pretty hype.
Yeah.
We like that.
Something a little
that's
different
fun.
in that sense. And of course, RTZ will be playing the Storm Spirit, Fear Lycan, Samel on its Omni Knight, Misery Tusk, Crit Rubik. Something that's in the past, Crit used to have some quite flashy plays on Rubik. Certainly used to be known as one of the flashiest. So we sort of get the chance to see a few games now and then of it from him, but not too often. So nice to see him on it for this game. And NaVi, can they do it here?
I don't know.
I mean, it's an exciting one because if they do it, it's going to be incredibly impressive because EG's lineup, just looking draft to draft, it just says you ain't got much of a chance.
I had the pleasure of watching the earlier Omni Knight and Storm game, and EG made it look damn good. And if I look at the control in this game, we have basically like disruption into Burrow Strike is their best hope at something.
Yeah. They have to get the execution down to perfect. And,
yeah. And you're dealing with a repel.
Yes.
So, and then at least they were able to itemize a little bit. Like earlier when we had some problems with control with one of the EG games, they were able to itemize into like sights and stuff for the Weaver of Raven, which is how they came back and won that game. No, well, I guess kind of sealed it, you could say. But itemization for the side of NaVi doesn't even look very good. There's no good Abyssal hero.
No.
There's really not the best scythe, maybe like a blink scythe sort of build from General, as it is kind of this weird offlaner that gets, he doesn't have very specific items that you need on the Shadow Demon offlane. He just kind of does a ton of magical damage.
I mean, I'm sort of looking at maybe I feel the sort of biggest potential for NaVi's lineup is if Deadwood does become this unkillable beast on the Timber side. If he gets a good start, if he can get these sort of key items early on, there isn't really sort of massive amounts of nuke damage on the side of EG, and yeah, Dendy playing this nicely here as he comes in on the lane aggressively. And
this looks great though. This is the matchup they wanted, right? This is why you picked Timber.
Sure.
You're like, okay, we're gonna get that early matchup, and yeah, it's not really safe to call things off lane Shadow Demon anymore. Of course, that's where the hero was most often seen, but with so many lane swaps these days, it's gonna be the off lane player in general, Mr. General, in the mid lane.
Playing the mid SD.
I like it.
That's it. Yeah,
it's fun.
Let's see how this goes. I mean, he's not going to have a lot of fun in this sense. He does get dragged back. Looks like he'll be fine. TP does come in from Roger. So General will survive for now.
That's scary.
We've all seen the clips, you know, of a core Shadow Demon late game. They're level 25, destroying enemy cores. Maybe we get that out of NaVi this game.
And this used to be a very famous roaming duo, Shadow Demon and Sand King. You disrupt into a Burrow Strike. There's some damage from the illusions. Now they just kind of have it as like a dual lane option, and before Storm's level 6, they do have the opportunity to apply that pressure. The question is, will they be able to actually do anything with that pressure this game? Much like with last game, where they kind of felt like they were a little bit ahead, it was spent on a Battle Fury and a lack of forward progress, which eventually just led into the ratting of EG.
Nice shots here from Misery, allowing Samel himself to right himself Snake. Snake will be able to get himself back out into the trees, so he will survive. Samel and Misery amping up the aggression on this thing, getting very much into the faces of Crystallize and Soneko early on.
I like how they didn't dive either. It's just not really worth it, honestly. They just want to make sure they get this wave, keep it pulled back, get into a nice spot for themselves, and help Sumail get rolling here. Speaking of rolling, we don't have our Tusk in the mid lane. Just so used to it. You know, you got Crit instead playing the Rubik. So.
Like that. Quick little disruption onto RTZ. Make sure he can't follow up straight away after General does get moved upon by Crit's Rubik. Stacking up the poison as well.
Yep.
Which it's pretty strong in this lane. I mean, these two heroes, RTZ on the Storm, not the greatest of range. He is going to tank a few of these stacks as General throws them out. And they do add up.
Left for General to set up though.
Sure. Yeah, if he gets gone on, he could be in trouble. But he does have backup. Roger's coming in from the sidelines with the Burrow Strike. It will continue to stack the poison up. Is it going to be enough? He does have 3 stacks upon him, but Crit's there. Got the bottle charges. RTZ will be fine. Forces Roger and General away.
And we'll just scalp the missile, push him back. A lot of pressure on Misery this game. You know, you got to live up to this Crit Tusk. Not an easy thing to do. No. He's looking fantastic.
Absolutely.
Plus, he's not going to be getting as much gold as Crit tends to. You know, he's going to be the kind of core end.
Around top lane.
Can I get a first blood?
Gee, they're looking for
the
it.
Body blocks!
Yeah, Crystallize will make sure that Soneko can get away to safety for now.
Good lad.
Turn around, throw down one of his spells. That might cost him. He's going to look for the deny to the neutrals, and he'll certainly get it.
Perfect.
Kills himself, to the creeps, and no kill for EG.
Even with the extended death timer, it's always going to be worth it to do that at this point in the game.
Especially because it's still the first blood. With 4 minutes in, no one's died yet.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
First blood going to be worth a lot. So bottom lane, CS, Dendy, 19 for 2, 18 for 1. Pretty much a wash between these two. They're going to very much even farm. I mean, sure, Timbersaw, you got great harassment against any sort of melee core, but Lycan, you got a ridiculous amount of regen, so you can more than sustain sort of the burst anyway, especially with, you know, sort of the way the Whirling Death works, removing your base attribute. It's just going to mean that you're going to regen up to fuller health even quicker.
Yeah, he's a bit of a level advantage though, which is going to be very good for Denny because he really wants to crack level 6 first, and he should be able to just get a free kill if there's no help there for Fear. Obviously, if he has the 6 on Fear though, he's just going to ult and run away. Still opting for the Wolves build as well, even though he's up against the Timbersaw. You can just keep microing them away, let them regen back up.
Yeah, that's the thing. As they stage the nuke, not enough from the Timbersaw's damage output to threaten the lives of the Wolves immediately in one burst. So, top lane, Crystallize actually suffering quite a bit on the safe lane Jara in terms of CS. He's only got 12 CS compared to the 20 of Sumail. So Sumail, once again, having a very strong start to the game in terms of his lane. Will be chased down there by this homing missile. Roger is going to come across as well with the Burrow Strike. See if I don't think he'll quite get the kill, as Sumail will have the chance to purify. In fact, Sumail could turn and maybe threaten that of Rogers, but Sumail will opt to repel, try and run himself away. There's wraparound coming in for Seneko, but Misery cuts off Seneko very nice with the Ice Shards, but they will still get the first blood NaVi, as Seneko's able to reach across the tree line, pop down the cold feet, and they get the neutral deny. I mean, NaVi, first blood, and making sure that EG get nothing in return there.
Excellently done by Seneko. General's pro debut on Shadow Demon. 47 unique heroes in his career and 7 unique heroes in his 7 games here at ESL One Genting. I
mean, I'm just interested to see what he builds and how much of an impact this core Shadow Demon can have. So far in the mid lane, 22 CS, he's farming alright. Bottom top lane, Sumail and Misery rolling in onto Crystallized, TP up for Seneko. Will manage to force back Misery and Sumail from diving for more. But I mean, yeah, what is the idea between this?
Yeah,
what's it gonna do as a core?
He's gonna get DD on his Storm Spirit. Makes him happy about good, but yeah, it looks like the action instead is up top.
Ooh, nice level just in time to stop the cold feet from proccing, but it may not be nice enough as well. Roger's looking to chase him down. Purification there for Sumail will keep that man alive. Roger now being chased down. Sumail, he's got 3 heroes to deal with though, so Roger gets himself away in time. Crystallize back to farming.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're overvaluing the Purge, in my opinion, up against the Omni Knight. Can't take off the Repel anymore. Can only take off the Guardian's Angel. And they don't even have that much physical damage. Obviously, once Jara's really farmed and he has those talents and start pumping a lot more damage from Black Cannon, it's going to feel pretty good then. So at least they can focus down a bit more like that. But other than that, it's just your typical Shadow Demon. Lots of magic damage burst. It's a very unique hero. It's not something you see all too often, so not fully fleshed out, I would say, in terms of its ups and downs, as it were.
I'll be interested to see if sort of maybe the itemization Sumail changes, you know, doesn't necessarily go through Radiance on the Omni this game, because there is the illusion potential that this core SD is going to be able to utilize.
It has been changed so that you can actually turn it off during disruption. Unless that's been patched. You can actually shut it off, which is kind of dumb. It sucks to be Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't get the Radiance.
Alright, yeah, if that works, yeah. Then I guess, yeah, there's no reason to
still be okay.
Crystallize, sort of sitting AFK here as Arteezy zips in him, and that'll be an easy kill for EG. Not expecting that rotation at all, as it seemed from Arteezy. General has come up. They do have 3 members NaVi, but they really need some sort of catch, and that does require Roger or General to be on the front line, so Arteezy will be fine.
Yeah, and you can see that with all that attention top, that Catapult has taken down the full bottom tower, and Dendy's kept it here.
What, 8 minutes in?
Yeah.
And the Timbersaw is heavily pressuring a tier 2. What the heck happened down here? How does this thing get
This is when Timber has looked his best lately. It's moments like this where there's no one who can really deal with him early, and they do have that problem.
Mid lane, Power of Fear pops the ultimate, dives in onto General. General, no way that you can survive between these 2 core heroes going in on you. Fear and Arteezy take the kill, and they'll also get the tier 1 tower as well. I mean, this is the thing, you know, sure, he disrupts one of the 2, but the other one's just going to come running at you. These 2 very, very high mobility cores. It makes a core Shadow Demon just suffer massively whenever he's out on his own in any lane.
Crystallize again, just starting to catch back up to 27-21. He is 1,000 gold behind the Lycan. Not looking too hot as the 1K lead is handed over to EG. Gyro, they picked it into the Lycan too, which was a bit surprising. It sounds good, I would say, because, you know, you can help deal with the summons. You have Flat Cannon, so it looks good in that sense, but they have the save of the Shadow Demon. Could be another good reason why they were thinking that it was very good this game as well, because they want to be able to make sure he doesn't just get totally destroyed by the Lycan running at his face. There's a chance that the Disruption will come out, Lycan's now pulled into the fold, and then you'll get this Burrow Strike in, you'll get this AA Blast, and that all has to be pretty tactically sound from NaVi, though, compared to the tactic of Lycan just literally running at your face and clawing at you. So, I still don't think this is going to be a very easy game for Crystallize, but he is on that dire side. We can start to look at that dire side triangle, perhaps get some stacks there, but he's in trouble.
He is indeed. There'll be defensive disruption in general, trying to buy him some time, but some Misery crits around him. They've got the snowball in. Crystallize falling low and will get taken down. EG find the kill. Roger moving in with the Burrow Strike, but there's 4 heroes here. RTZ zips forward. Burrow Strike from Roger holds back the Storm Spirit. EG thinking about trying to chase this SK down. Getting quite close to gap. Shards are going to be off the mark. Can't quite reach around Roger. So Roger will survive. But again, this is Crystallize going down. EG making some big rotations and getting some big kills as well under the belt of their Storm Spirit. Who, you know, RTZ, he's pretty much got the kayak complete on top of the treads. So this very sort of power spike he has Ariani is out of mana though. Dendi coming in with the rotation, but not looking to chase. A little too wary of what could be potentially waiting on the high ground of EG there.
Looks like another great game for the Thanks Blitz build, I would say. Going to Kai
Absolutely,
and
Orchid.
Blitz. Like you're up against the Shadow Demon. If he just zips on him, silences him, destroys him, zips on the Timbersaw, gonna help his team there too. The Sand King, plenty of good Orchid targets in this match. And that gank too that they tried on Crystallize, where it's like if you try and save him with the Shadow Demon, well, guess what? Tusk, another great thing he counters, because he uses that time when they're disrupted to try and create some space and then start casting some spells on them, like follow with an ulti or something like that. And then what happens? They just snowball, they dodge into this ultimate, and they chase you down from where you're trying to create this gap. So overall, the Tusk just kind of counters this whole Shadow Demon save anyway.
Aggressive on CZ, he's looking to play. I mean, he's got the backup to do so. Crit with the setup straight away onto Denti, and Denti's gone. 30 seconds, no Timber.
Oh, and Crick got the ulti too.
And he's looking for more. Yes, he's moving in bottom lane. Fear's going to be diving in onto Crystallize. There's a homing missile to hold back the Wolf. Will buy some time for Crystallize to run himself away. Top lane, Na'Vi looking for the turnaround. Will go into the Rubik. Bottom, Jara goes down, but the GA comes out just in time for Samael. Keeps Crit alive, and now EG can chase down for kills themselves up top. They'll move in onto General, zipping forward with Arteezy, taking down a third hero across the map. Misery's not done yet. They have the shards onto Roger. The rest of EG moving back over. Samael and Arteezy maybe hoping to look for the SK as well. Arteezy's low on mana, but they have the Purification AoE damage. They pop down a Remnant, burst down another. 4 heroes going down in quick succession on NaVi as EG leads 7-1, 4K lead, and another tower will be in the bank for them very soon as well.
Start fixing my hair for the post-game camera here.
It's getting
we're
pretty
almost there.
brutal.
That looked like the end of game 2, when they were just kind of chain feeding, honestly. Trying desperately to like throw these waves away, like, no, back from these buildings, please, leave our base. This time it's just a tier 1, but it's already looking like a serious problem here for the side of NaVi. We haven't had the AA combo at all. There's nothing, I mean, it's not even an easy combo to hit. This needs like a Blink Dagger or something on the Shadow Demon, or a super dive from EG.
And the heroes you're trying to hit it against as well.
Yeah.
So many ways for them to work
right.
around it.
It's a Lycan and a Storm
zipping
Spirit.
around, running around. How do you do it if you're NaVi? Maybe you just hold out and you try and get to that Divine Rapier Jara moment, but that is quite a few pipe dreams away. As this game starting to look rather grim quite early for NaVi with this lead that EG's got. Fear on his Lycan.
It must.
I mean, I think, you know, if other teams here at the LAN are watching this, they will
Look what they tried to, like, some
maybe learn the lesson. They're trying to fight here, but it's EG that are happy enough to turn it. They snowball into 2. EG, Arteezy takes down 1. That's a core. General SD going down straight away. EG ready to chase down for more as they push NaVi back. Roger Burrow striking the units, trying to hold them out here. Arteezy with a massive zip comes across towards Roger. Doesn't have the control though, so Roger will be able to keep his distance. Dendi looking to turn with the Chakram onto Misery. Moving back in, NaVi. Can they actually fight this though? Crit with the stolen Burrow Strike off the back of the telekinesis. Blows up that Roger Sand King that came poking his nose around. 9-1 lead for EG. It's not slowing down anytime soon as it seems.
Honestly, I would wager this is a situation where the matchup just hasn't occurred that often, that you don't realize how brutal it is. Because this Tusk is actually, their only way back in this game is some sort of gank plays. And before they have a Blink Dagger on this Shadow, or this Sand King, it's going to be like smokes with Shadow Demon initiating with Disruption. Plays like that. Tusk 100% counters them. It's brutal. They just come out of the Disruption, all these spells are laid down, and he just snowballs everyone. And you try and run, and they just chase you down, and they have all this mobility. It looks horrifying, frankly. That's a horrifying angle right there at the top of that chart, I'd say.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you, Pimp.
EG, there's a reason why we saw a few smiles on the faces of them coming into this game, and maybe even after the back of the last one, just feeling very confident in this matchup against NaVi. And also, as we saw, NaVi looked a little wary coming into this game after the draft. You could certainly see that they themselves were not too confident with the hand that they ended up dealing their own side.
Sumail, so confident. Picked 4th. Nothing that deals with Repel.
Yeah, he's in no threat at all. Absolutely go wherever he wants on the map. Back down bottom over Navi's half of the map. EG invade. They get another kill for Arteezy. Sumail getting gone on. He's got Purification back up in a few seconds with that sort of speed with the phase and drums. No warrior being caught out by a cold feet proc.
Does have to be a bit careful. Repel's been cooldown for quite a while. And they do have Visionary with the Shadow Demon, but it doesn't look like they're going to forwardly aggress onto him. There's a bigger concern. Bottom Ice Blast will hit down there, but there's no one to follow up. So it doesn't matter all too much.
Should be another tower for Evil Geniuses. 15 minutes in taking these tier 2s like nobody's business. The pushing power of Vizlycans. Rogers comes in. Will hold the push off for now.
Okay, Invis could help here.
Misery, though, gets a beautiful grab onto Crystallize, traps him, sets him up for Arteezy to zip across straight away and get the kill. NaVi are coming in. They are looking to try and take some sort of a fight in return. General knows that Arteezy's low. Can he quite close the gap for the disruption? Doesn't look like he can. Maybe Roger can get in for a bow strike. No, too many members of EG around. Roger can't commit with a stun. And there's a DD as well waiting for Arteezy. So NaVi teeping across, unable to do anything about this gyrocopter going down once again, and just cannot bite back into EG's lineup. They just don't have the catch or setup from range. They have to get in close with a disruption or a burrow strike.
This looks like one of those games where you talk about how like the drafting formula tends to work, and how it's often explained is that you like do your supports first, and then it goes core, and then you pick a core to counter that core, and a core versus that core and everything, and then in the end there shouldn't technically be like 2 cores that counter you in most situations, right? Because they can only see that core and then have so many different things, blah, 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 or at least you can counter that core back or something. But what happened here is that they essentially pick this Gyro and this Lycan, and he just runs at your face, and then they get to pick a Storm Spirit after too, because you picked your core into a core that counters your core, and then they just pick another one, who not only has a free game, because there's no one to stun him, but if he just gets on top of this Gyrocopter, what are they going to do? It's absolutely nothing. But Dendi got that tower. It took him another 9 minutes.
He got that,
but he got it.
And he does have his Bloodstone. Of course, we just a general nearly having the Midas, but this is a very, very poor core. Mid SD with about the same net worth as Crit's Rubik. It's Crit having a infinitely better time on that support role.
This is some Arteezy Midas. That's what that is.
Oh, but it's not great.
So just as desperate.
There we go. That's it out for General. And maybe they can stall the game and do something, but it's going to be oh so hard with the way that EG are keeping the pressure on, and with a completed Orchid on Arteezy on top of the Kaya. This Storm, very scary at this stage of the game, as there is very few items or ways that NaVi can play around it. Sure, maybe a defensive disruption, as long as the SD General himself isn't the one being gone on by Arteezy. But it doesn't look great.
It feels like there's no other item that would change anything anyway for him, though. It's like, if he buys a Blink, does it matter? If he just... We've seen the disruptions largely not impactful. He might as well just try and get somewhere. He has the added bonus of having the XP talent, so it's going to amplify that Midas by a bit more. Try and get him into those big talents later on that pump out insane amounts of magic damage. And perhaps that'll give them some sort of a chance. That's their hope, at least. And they have the Blink Dagger on Roger, so very important smoke here for them. Has to be a core pickoff. Can they find somebody who doesn't have Aegis?
Arteezy, yeah.
That will be good.
Aegis. I would be very surprised if we see Arteezy die even the once this game with the way that it's going. Still 0 deaths on his Storm, of course. That's only the 1 kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
For the side of NaVi. KDAs of the whole of EG looking pretty damn clean this game.
Who's our feeder, Pimp?
Yeah, who was the one that died again? I can't remember now. It felt so long ago.
Dire's middle tower.
I was
Sumail.
Sumail.
Oh, that's right, the first blood.
Oh,
that was the very first
Feeding.
kill.
Come on, Sumail, you got to step it up.
It's like a handicap. Kind of
Yeah,
gave it
yeah,
to
give him a
start.
little bit of a chance.
Right,
yeah,
and then
that's
it's like, then we'll take 11 straight. How's that sound?
100% of EG's deaths this game
Wow.
will be brought up
Pizza
in the
party
post-team
soon.
meeting. Yeah,
Oh my god, we just had a pizza party.
we did. Oh,
Oh shit.
where's Fog gone? Why are you here, Trent? Giannis?
Surprise.
Go bottom lane, Roger getting moved in a pot. I go in with the snowball. Roger bursted down by the telekinesis fade bolt, and a tier 2 tower for EG. 14k gold lead. NaVi with their backs against the wall. They need something incredible. I don't know if they're going to get it. RTZ ready to just dive into the base with the Orchid straight onto General. General's down. They'll look towards Dendy. Crystallize comes in with the cooldown, but NaVi, they have 3 heroes dead at the moment. Misery rolling forward. RTZ coming across, takes down a 4th. It's GG. It's all over in an absolute stomp. 15 to 1, 20 minutes in. 16k lead for EG. They knew it from the draft. If you go back and watch those screens of NaVi, they're probably going to be very similar to the screens we're going to see after the game. You could tell this was a team, they drafted themselves into a corner. They knew they didn't have a chance. Look at the smiles on EG. They knew that this was one before the game had even started.
I see a lot of water bottles on the desk, all right? And I think, you know, like Space Jam, I think Bulba's doing that right now. You know, he's in there, he's getting them the special formula. He's pumped this team up.
There's
Where do
something
these guys
magical
come from? Have you seen these guys lately? This is a different team.
I mean, as I said, look, this is NaVi. I mean, they look just as they were when they were drafting.
That gesture says it all.
Oh, how
What
can
is
you
this?
let them have
What-
these heroes? I notice as well that Horst he's miles away from the
Yeah,
room.
he's not coming back.
He
I'm gonna let them simmer down after
Yeah,
that
so
one.
he doesn't want to go straight back into that conversation.
He's ordering the pizza.
Yeah, he is.
That's
for
where he
himself,
wants
you know,
it.
he's sat there eating it. Oh my goodness! But a bit of a rough, tough end. A bit of a, you know, you can tell that NaVi are going to be very disappointed with the way that it sort of comes to an end for them. EG, all smiles moving forward, but definitely clear things that NaVi can look back on that game and say, we shouldn't have done this.
It just felt like such outdrafts, honestly. And I feel like that's maybe overused a lot of the times when it comes to analyzing games, but those were 2 outdrafts. I mean, those were just such hard games to see how NaVi was going to be victorious. Maybe the panel knows. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we'll see what the panel has to say, and we'll see if are we going to get to see Fear Lycan again, because I'm sure that's going to be on sort of the top of the hit list for most teams in the banning phase. That's it from me and Trent. 2-0 to EG versus NaVi. Back to you guys on the panel.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say after that. I've only got 3 words in my head, and I think you know what they are. Let's find out from some experts what they made of that, because I'm not entirely sure what I just watched.
Oh, I'm sure.
Guys, I don't want to be too mean here. I love Dendy, I love the NaVi team and the brand, but I have to say, they caused those problems themselves.
That was embarrassing.
They caused that that was their fault, wasn't it? Let's not just beat around the bush.
That was one of the worst drafted series that I've seen in Pro Dota 2 in the last 3 months. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people are going to give me crap now for flaming NaVi. If I didn't like NaVi, if I didn't think they had a lot of potential as a team, I wouldn't get emotional. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But I do actually think that this team could be good. And with drafts like this against a top team, these lands are big opportunities to improve. They're big opportunities to learn something about yourself, to learn your path to TI. And you just don't give yourself a chance in the draft. It's very, very disappointing.
Yeah, no, it was a very poor draft, and it was. I mean, I don't think you can say they played poorly, Will, because they didn't give themselves a chance to play well, did they?
Yeah, it's like 4 games in a row against who is it they played against?
In Mineski?
Mineski,
No, they beat not Mineski,
Yeah.
but the Liquid series and the
Oh,
EG series,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they both highlighted like problems with.
But I think at
NaVi.
least in the Liquid games they were competitive. They weren't terrible drafts. They were giving themselves a chance to win.
Yeah, those
they
are
had some
better.
conditions which were tough to admit, but they made a couple of mistakes against Liquid which cost them. This wasn't about mistakes. This was just a poor draft and poor execution.
Yeah, I think this is probably like the biggest outdraft that I've seen in a tier 1 game in quite some time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so there's some like stuff that we understand or that we've known about Dota and that the pros do too, right? It's like Timber's not that good against Lycan. I know people think it is because you think melee on melee. Well, Lycan has one of the highest HP regens, and he also comes equipped with like 1,000 HP. So he doesn't care. You saw in the laning phase, Fear did not mind at all. There was actually, he didn't care whatsoever. Sure, Dendy's doing well, but he's like, yo, you're Timbersaw. Like, you know what that hero does, right? Yeah. It's 2018. That hero does absolutely nothing. Then you take your one position, and twice in a row, Navi puts Crystallize in an unwinnable position.
Right.
And I honestly don't understand the logic of putting, like I said it, you can't play Gyrocopter against Lycan. This came from straight out of the mouth of Arteezy at DreamHack.
On
like,
stage, at a major.
He's like, yo, this is an unplayable matchup. Ramses could not do this. Crystallize could not do this. Like, you just kind of, you put your carry player 2 games in a row. First he plays that Void game where he has no impact, and then he has to play Gyro where it's even worse. There's like one time at bottom where Fear was just chasing him around, and it was so sad to watch.
It was.
Because you know what's going to happen. Yeah, he throws a rocket on him. Lycan has max move speed. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I think we end the butchering there. I think it could get worse, frankly. But congrats to Evil Geniuses. They had to do their thing, and they did. I think they were given a very easily opportunity to do that, and that's been confirmed. However, let's check in with our 2 brackets right now. They have been completed. Team Secret, the winners by 2-0 over Virtus.pro. A very dominant performance in the upper bracket. They've gone 5-0 so far here at ESL One Genting, and they will claim a place directly in the semi-finals. We'll see them on day number 5 up in the Highlands in the Arena of Stars. Virtus.pro, they'll be playing in the quarterfinals, however, as they drop down into that quarterfinals of the playoffs. The one team joining them will be Vici Gaming, a team who have been very good at securing top 4 positions. They've done 9 in a row offline and online over the last couple of months, and they will try and go for a 10th, but they will also be in the quarterfinals, at least making the top 6. They will advance there at the demise of their own sister team, VGJ Thunder. Let's take a look at the other bracket for you now and confirm that Team Liquid and NaVi are playing right now. NaVi are 1-0 up in that matchup right now. Perhaps a little bit of a surprise to some. They haven't been in the greatest form over the last couple of months, but they are winning against the team who many believe are the #1 team on the planet right now. They were unbeaten up to that point as well. That game ongoing right now on the other stream. Evil Geniuses confirmed their spot in the quarterfinals. They will advance at the cost of NaVi, who were very poor this afternoon and very stubborn, it has to be said, in their draftings. So, those are the brackets completed. We've just got one more decision to make, which is, you know, where do Liquid and NaVi fall in terms of quarterfinal or semi-final, but they're guaranteed top 6 regardless of that result. So we know our top 6 now. We always said the top 4 would be the top 4, and they were, no problem. Has it surprised you that we've ended up with the other 2 teams, Vici and EG?
No,
it's not much of a surprise, is it, really?
They were the 2 that I predicted.
Well done.
I got to get something right every once in a while, right? No, I think EG definitely has turned things around, and EG and Vici both had obviously a very, very rough start to the tournament.
Yeah, well, I mean, EG coming into this were, if you count their first 2 games, were 0-5.
Well,
so they lost 3-0 at the previous match, and then they came in, they lost 0-1 to NaVi, and then they lost the first game against Pendant. They were 0-5.
I actually didn't realize this until just now, but looking at the brackets, they both won first-round rematches in the losers bracket finals to get to Genting.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often. But
best of 3 is greater than best of 1s, boys.
I think we can definitely have that argument. Will, what would you make of the top 6?
I think that this is what I predicted as well, and I mean, I thought NaVi had like an outside chance, but at the same time, like, I got a lot of flack because I said EG was better than NaVi, but it's a best of 1. Like, you can't just like go home after that and say like, okay, well, we're clearly better than this team. In a best of 3, that's where you really prove your mettle, and that's where, you know, EG proved that they're the superior team. I still think they have a lot of questions that they need to answer, because, okay, you're beating the other like tier 2 teams. Well, now you're gonna go against one of the tier 1 teams. Like, you have to play against one of these top 4 giants.
But but Will, let's put it in context. It's a good start.
Of course,
sure.
You roll
with a new roster and new changes,
but
and everything else.
It feels like everyone in that section like beats each other anyways.
Sure.
And so it's like, now you get this opportunity.
Better, but they're no worse off than they were. But they've built something that with a view to maybe joining that top 3.
Yeah.
But again, I think you tell the story as the paths that these teams have to take to improve. What do these teams need to do to start playing on the level of your Liquids, your Secrets, your VPs, clearing that path to the TI top 4? And you first have to address these fundamental issues. I think EG have come up with a couple of solutions, like putting Arteezy in these aggressive duels, aggressive tries in the off lane.
But just producing performances like that against NaVi helps.
And then what you gain here, win or lose, is you learn whether those solutions will work against the top teams. This is what you see with a team that's improving over time. This is what's been missing for EG for a while. So at the very least, I think that's very encouraging.
Okay, we're going to close up the show in just a moment, but let's show you the playoff bracket for you, because the next 3 days we'll see all of these matches complete. The quarterfinals, as you can see on the left-hand side, we're still waiting for the teams to finish off their matches. It's NaVi and Liquid, which will fill those 2 spots. The loser will play Team Secret. The winner will play Vici Gaming. So I guess you could say a Liquid Secret game first round of the playoffs would be a bit like, but they've got to buy, because they will go straight to the semi-finals. Likewise, at the bottom, the winner of that match that's currently going on between Liquid and NaVi will also get the buy into the semi-final, therefore avoiding Team Secret.
It's VPG?
Yeah. Huh? And Virtus Pro versus EG. Yeah.
And it's got to be said, right? EG has VP's number on LAN. That's something Sumail reminded us of at Dream League, that they don't lose to VP on LAN.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was really surprised that happened.
We was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, it seems to happen like every time. And
it does, doesn't it?
VP, I think in like the DPC, the only team that's taken one from like the big 3 aside from each other has EG beating VP is the only time that it ever happened. So I was like shocked. I forgot that I was like, I looked at it, I was like, real?
Yeah, that's the reward for beating NaVi.
That's
they get to play Virtus Pro. It's great, right?
Yeah, VP. That's like probably
the best draw they could have had.
They're just like, damn. Like,
yeah, would have been a secret otherwise, and that would have been a bad draw for them in a way.
Oh, usually would have.
Did you think
many of those? Yeah.
That's not. I don't know. They need to build up to it. They need to build up to it.
Yeah. We'll play them later on down the line. Thanks very much, gents. Thank you to all the casters and talent, of course, throughout the day, and our observer team and our stats man, of course, for all the information provided for us to bring you the show. That is it. End of day 3 has come and gone now. We know the top 6, but we have no idea who's advancing through to the semi-finals. We'll have both of our quarterfinals live from the Arena of Stars tomorrow in the Genting Highlands, 6,000 feet up in the sky, to find out who advances to the top 4. The other game's still going on. Check it out if you can before the show ends. But that's it from us. Thank you very much for tuning in to ESL One Genting. We'll see you tomorrow for day number 4.
Go on the back line with a double damage BKB pop, but the wall was punched all him up long enough for the Abyssal Blade to be there, and Golem buys him a little bit of time, force that forward. No, the magic damage comes in, Miscoil finishes him off. Fear jumps forward, managed to grab 1437, stopping him from channeling that slow, and they take Fear down too, so that's it. Evil Geniuses will take game number 1, and 48 minutes in. That lane, I think there's due. They spotted Arteezy, already got the silence on him. This is huge if they can actually get him with the 2-man burrow strike. They're setting up really well, but the imp is going to cause some problems. Finally, the silence does manage to run out. He actually turns, goes for the Razor. Again, the easy kill because he's just so underfarmed. Arteezy goes deeper, goes for the 1437 kill, gets that one as well. 3-man burrow strike for damage with the epicenter on top. What a big play, but it's not quite enough to finish off Arteezy. They need this kill death.
That's why he's not like...
Goes in, gets death.
Very nice lift.
Instantly lifted here, the snowball fall off.
Needs BKB
goes to death, probably hit the Chronos Kick, comes in BKB from Ori. Will look to turn this one. 11 does not have a black hole. They're trying to fight with it down, but unfortunately for them, the Chronosphere and Exorcism looks to be enough here. Silas underneath the tower in so deep against the Exorcism. No chance
from abashed
to hold his own against that. SF's Requiem comes in now, heals him back to full, but doesn't matter when you've got 5 heroes surrounding you as he drop down. The BKBs, you know, it's too much for a team fight.
BKB is down.
In the base.
They need to go right now.
Yep. 2-man crash with Land M Slaughter initiation, but he gets caught by the Atos. He's going to get taken out. There was no follow-up whatsoever. The banish from the disruption going to save him for a little bit longer. The Guardian Angel being used very early on in the fight. Not when you get taken out by the Omni, but dispelled by Panda means Puck goes down, followed up by an Omni, and they do just call it.
Yeah, that's not this.
2 for Roshan. This X is, I say, we've taken 3 tier 1s. Have to go for a Roche Fade. Pull back in, needs to be a little bit careful here, but the silence coming out onto a couple. Paparazzi back, great hook shot onto absolutely everyone, and the TV Sunder comes out, but he's still incredibly low, and Vici Gaming have just crushed this Roshan fight as they punish Thunder.
Look at those big green arrows on the minimap though. Oh, pushing in. Slow Naga push.
Fear down bottom, don't have to sleep on middle as Arteezy allows the space for Fear to just go ham down bottom. This sleep Meaning that as soon as they wake up, the racks down bottom are gone. Crystallize will come in with a 2-man chrono, pops the BKB. That's a good amount of damage onto Arteezy, but the Glimmer Cape should keep him fine, as well as the Urn, healing him back up. As bottom lane, NaVi with the backs against the wall. They need something incredible. I don't know if they're going to get it. Arteezy ready to just dive into the base with the Orchid straight onto General. General's down. They'll look towards Dendi. Crystallize comes in with the cooldown, but NaVi, they have 3 heroes dead at the moment. Misery rolling forward. Arteezy coming across, takes down a 4th. It's GG. It's all over in an absolute stomp.